What's up? Cool.
Not on that one. And now they
Uh-oh.
are. Beautiful. All right.
Nice.
It's a little
Good job.
scuffed. Everything's going to be scuffed, until it's not, basically. Oh, man. Let me just make sure the other one isn't scuffed either. Go ahead, say a couple words.
Couple words. Couple
Beautiful.
words.
I think we have de-scufftified it.
I got a blue snowball, baby.
You got to.
I don't know. It's loud. I can't tell it's loud.
No, you're good. You're clear as
All
day. And if you're not, who gives a shit? We'll try again episode 2.
right.
All right. The part I didn't think about is the start. Like what do we? Welcome, welcome. I guess I'd go by Mr. Wilson on this stuff. Or Ezom. What about
Yeah,
you there?
I'm James, or you call it James Savage. 'Cause
Ooh,
that's what I name myself in there. So we're James
James
Savage right now.
James Savage, like the Randy
Or
Savage.
skate or Skater Pie on everything because
Beautiful.
that's based.
I also just realized this chat says, "Always admire my nigga." That's like the
it's,
first thing it just shows me. So,
it's so based.
holy,
Yeah, keep shipping it. You people really just.
nigga Meyer.
It was the greatest shirt. I'm really gonna buy it. I'm gonna make sure it's established.
Let me
I'm
see.
wearing that one of these episodes.
Wait. I mean, we're gonna have to. You have no choice at this point. Let's see if you can hear it.
Are here. Wanted
There
to
it
make
is.
sure that everybody knew that we now have Team Niggemeyer fishing merchandise.
That's just insane. And he knows. He knows what he's doing. He
It's
knows.
good marketing. It's good
That's
marketing.
crazy.
I respect the hustle.
Team Niggemeyer. Like fuck a reaction. I just had to play that just so I can hear it in my head. That's gonna be a clip now. I have to get that as a sound clip. But welcome to Team Niggemeyer. It's just what the hell? Oh my god. So what's I think the newest thing that happened so far is what Tulsi? Is she confirmed now?
Yes, my comrade. Oh,
Oh my god. Yeah, true. Because I'm pretty sure she got ousted by Hillary.
yep. Hillary did it, and apparently, Tulsi went to try to sue her.
No, well,
In regards to
defamation.
that. Yeah,
That's
and then
fucking
dropped it.
wild. Yeah,
But
of course. There's nothing defaming about the truth. It's
yeah.
the truth. Conrad, head of intelligence, though, like she has. That means she can see everything, right? She's in there.
Oh yeah, that is not a good position. That is far from a good position.
Because I mean,
Like
on the scary chance she actually is an asset, you literally just gave over everything instantly.
yeah, and knowing how she talks about Ukraine, ain't nothing good gonna happen from that. From those, I'm pretty sure nothing good happened from those talks with Trump and Elon when they came to Ukraine. I
That's
know
why.
those talks were not
Yeah,
no bueno.
that's
Uh,
terrifying for Ukraine.
yeah,
Isn't it funny though? On the opposite side, Israel's about to get the biggest fucking boost to their munitions. There we go.
there it
Just
is.
for Tulsi. Yeah.
My bad. I talk about my queen because apparently she's gonna do a lot of good things for our country. I'm not saying which one, but she's gonna do a lot of good things for our country, and I'm excited.
Oh my
Personally excited.
god. True.
You know, because just be honest, Ukraine started the war. Let's be real; they're the ones who started it.
Uh,
Um, if they can end it right now, they just got to give them Crimea, just give them the rest of their territories. I don't see the problem. Obviously,
you know
so
what? I just found a really great clip got posted
oh no, oh no.
about Europe's. I guess Europe saying something because I'm in r/Democrat now ever since the election kicked off.
Uh huh.
It just got recommended it to me, and it was I guess one of the UN meetings, and she basically was like, somehow we've gotten to where everyone's blaming the people getting invaded and not the invaders, and
Wow.
everyone's blaming Ukraine, but and then she went through from the 50s to the Soviet invasions of all these different countries, and she was like, did they blame them or it was Lithuania and all these people did they blame them? Did they? It was all the way up to the 90s. Did they blame them? But
Yep.
somehow with Ukraine, we're blaming them. It's pretty insane. to live in this kind of time. Like, it's yeah, it kind of just blows my mind how people are just so ready to be like, yeah, it's all good. And you know, to be fair, even with the far lefties for a while with the communists, they were supporting Russia. Like Hassan was supporting Russia over Ukraine, and that was insane. Like, dude, you're probably the number one person who should be pushing against it, but he was like, nah. They're not going to invade, you know, no, they're fine. And then all of a sudden now he's like, if you see online, they're like, oh no, we said all along, you know, Ukraine was going to get invaded all along. We knew this was going to happen. It's like, dude, we have it recorded, you know?
Yeah, it's absolute insanity. Like, I hope, I know it's not going to happen at all, but hopefully, people can push some information to Vladimir Putin's ear to shit talk Trump, so Trump's ego can get hurt, and we can go ahead and support Ukraine and get them to win this war.
I mean,
because they should not give up any territory. That's ridiculous.
No. And low key, I love Reddit because there was a quote from Putin where someone asked him about how he felt about the election and is he a friend of Trump, and in a sly way he basically was like, they needed something to win, so we gave them what they needed, but we're not like really friends or something like that. Like, basically was like, yeah, you know, everyone's laughing at America again. Like, we've been here before. This happened in 2016. We were the butt of every joke. All the leaders behind Trump laughing at him behind his back. Like, he just walks around like he's the big shit. And it's like, you can't beat stupid. We've realized, proven. There's nothing you can do. And we said it the whole time. There's nothing you can say to the Magtards. There's nothing you can say. They're lost. If you support Trump this second time, the first time I'll give you a sliver of an excuse because of what happened to Bernie, and a lot of the Bernie bros went over to Trump because he was quote unquote an outsider, even though he was in bed with the Clintons through the 90s, et cetera, et cetera. He's supposed to be an outsider, even though he fought Obama birther movement. He's an outsider. But after we saw what happened, COVID, world crashed, America's dead. And now we're like, oh no, we had fun. Like those guys were like, we had a great time 4 years ago. I'm like, I was in the fucking working in the hospitals. Watch people die every day. What are you talking about? Where were you guys?
Seeing these dead homeless people on the streets, that was a great time. I'm like super excited.
Just dead in the streets.
Having all the stores shut down. Stores shut down forever.
Strip. Remember the strip shut down? That was the most insane thing to see. Was it ghost town? Like, we were in a post-apocalyptic time. Where the UNLV stadium was empty.
Yep.
And that was where we got COVID tests. And there was just nothing but a line of people coughing and shit. And that could have been prevented in such a better way. And before that, Trump's just fucking deficit spending during a great economy. Like, what are you doing? Obama fixed it. We're good. Let's just ride off into the sunset, you know? But somehow, the Republicans did. They're riding off into the sunset. We got another 4 years. So somehow, all that, they still get that back. Yeah.
Every time. Like, I even looked at, like, I don't know why I even look up the numbers. It's ridiculous, but like, literally, Obama came in doing one of the worst, like, market crashes in the country, as bad as the Depression, and he turned around the economy.
Yep.
In his 8 years of presidency, and Trump comes in, kills entirely the economy. Yep. And that's adding on to the pandemic, which in itself was destroying our country.
Yeah.
And he was. I'm trying to imagine what it would have been like for those 4 years if Trump was president during the pandemic. I think the amount of deaths would have been higher. I think the economy would have crashed to levels we've never seen before. And it's one of those things in my head that I wish that he would have won in 2020, because if he did and the economy was shit, what could the president say? What can you say at that point? Because now we have to prove it for these next 4 years when the economy's going to be looking amazing because of Biden, unless Trump fucks it up, which I think he will, with tariffs and all that garbage. So people are going to still have some fucking excuse for, because MAGTARs are literally brain dead. Talking to them is the worst thing in human history. You ask them one question, hey, okay, that's all great. Okay, so what happened in 2020? They'll show you all these graphs about the inflation and how much everything costs now, how much gas was. And I ask them that one question, I get no reply. So I don't know. These people are just lost and dumb. But yeah,
yeah, you're right. Obama came through and fixed everything Bush did. and Trump came through in one fell swoop, fucked it all up, and then Biden came through and half the time fixed everything. Got those amazing the CHIPS Act passed, and the green energy one passed, the infrastructure bill passed, like all these great, amazing, huge bipartisan bills, both sides shaking hands. We're having a grand old time. Economy's on the upswing. But when you hear in your ear the whole time, oh no, we're doing bad. Oh no, we're doing bad. I'm like, dude, it's hard to even be in their shoes because I'm like, you guys say we're doing so bad. But what's gonna happen in 2 months? Is everything's gonna you can't even think it's magically gonna change because it didn't when Trump first came in the first time. Nothing changed. It didn't start changing until he fucked everything up. And I agree with you. It's a fucked up thing to think about. But if he was there and it got way worse, the only thing I can think of is like, oh well, now we're gonna open everything back up, and if you get sick, it's not real. So and then people just more deaths, basically.
Yeah, it would have been.
Yeah, it would just been way more deaths, and then people still would have been trying to go out to eat and get haircuts. It was just such the dumbest things happened, and people just it all just disappeared. It all magically, everything was beautiful when Trump was in office. It was all fairy tales and rainbows. There was nothing bad that ever happened ever, and it's just like, but somehow this 4 years when everything's getting fixed, now it's the end of the world, you know. And and I will say I do agree it was looking like Biden was gonna win pre the debate. It still will go down as one of the like craziest things because it's not like Biden did bad. It was just a perceived notion of bad. Biden had whoever was prepping Biden was fucking up. They should have did what they did the first time. Just make fun of him and move on. Like there were some times where Biden was like, "Yeah, that's why you had sex with the prostitute and you're a liar and you're a cheater." That's all you needed to do. Great. You didn't have to say anything else. When they ask you questions about numbers, you should immediately go, "What about his numbers? What is he gonna say?" Because I took the country from him. Remember COVID? Everyone forgot about. He should have just been on the attack, but instead they were like, "No, we have to be better." And it's like, "Fuck that. That doesn't work because." We're too anti-establishment now. People are tired of. That's why the whole 2016 thing happened. It's because we didn't want to go back after Obama. Why would we want to go back to regular ass old dudes, just regular people that have just been politicians forever? People didn't want that, and in their blindness, of course, they chose Trump. But then we've already had Trump 4 years, and now we're here, and it's like, did we learn nothing? Like, no. There's a part of you that makes you like, well, now I want everything to go to shit. I really want everything to crash and people to die, and like. What are you gonna say then? Because like even when it happened in COVID, they kept saying it was fake. It's so crazy. They kept saying, "Oh no, that person didn't die from COVID. They died from a heart attack." It's like, that's what. Yes, because COVID broke down. It's like dying from AIDS and you had a cold. Yes, because they destroyed your immune system. So you died from AIDS.
He died from AIDS. He died from ammonia.
Yeah, he had ammonia. It's
like,
how do you can't? So this is my strategy now. I'm like, look. Even though he already brought up barring changing the 22nd Amendment, which the funny thing is everyone said if he does that, Obama's coming back. You can't beat Obama. Let that go. You will never beat Obama. Obama is one of the most guaranteed winningest people ever because people talk shit before, but you can't because the numbers proved he was right. The history shows Obama was an amazing president who did amazing things. So barring that 22nd Amendment, we're bringing back Obama. Trump, you're not beating Obama. Good effort. Good try now. It's not fucking happening. You heard Obama talk. Can't nobody talk like Obama. That shit's done. No. Yeah, let that shit go. But barring the 22nd Amendment being changed, this is the last for of Trump. And one side of me wants everything just to be decent. Please let us survive and just fucking walk away. You know, because like you're having a son, I have a son, we have kids now. So now like my thought process changes about the future. Like before when I was without kids, I'm like, fuck, let it burn. I'll go in the mountains and fucking hide away. You know, now I'm like, well, fuck, I got to take care of a kid. And I can still hide away in the mountains, but now it's The Last of Us. And that's a little scary, you know. So there's a part of me, it's like, hopefully he just parades around. Like I got my 2 terms. I win and walks away. But then the other half of me, after seeing some of the picks, I was like, okay, Marco Rubio, you know, fucking the guy from, I think it was Ohio or one of the Arkansas or one of those governors that ran in 2016, he appointed him. I'm like, okay, these are fine. These are just normal Republicans. And then we got Tulsi Gabbard, head of intelligence. We got Elon Musk with some fucking Dogecoin bullshit with Vivek in there after fucking shitting on Trump and then dick sucking Trump and then shitting on Trump. Like Vivek is a flip-flopping ass yellow belly coward. Like, what the fuck are you at all? But then now you have, why do we have 2 of them? First of all, why do we have 2 guys doing the same thing? We want efficient things. You should have one person running it. Why do you have 2 people running something that's called efficient? It's literally an oxymoron. And
I think you forgot. They're going to gut the Department of Education, so they have a lot more like resources to go around, and they're also going to gut FDA.
Mm-hmm.
So they have a lot more resources to go around for the Doge meme,
Yeah,
and
and it's
then
like,
we can get.
and then half of me, it's like, okay, cool. Fuck the FDA, sell your products, and kill a bunch of dumbass followers. Because that's what's gonna happen. That's what happened with COVID. Majority of Republicans died because of COVID. It's like, so you're just killing off your own base, but then they indoctrinated the young guys. And this kind of brings that other side of the conversation of it is something that needs to be talked about. And I do see it even today. Like, when you're left leaning, you're more in line with the women empowerment. Like you do see the bad sides of the patriarchy, quote unquote. But at the same time, it's gotten to the point where legitimately you cannot have problems as a man because of the patriarchy, which is insane to think about. Like anytime I see someone go, yeah, but guys have it hard these days. No, they don't. The patriarchy exists. And it's like, well, the patriarchy exists for the top percent. 90% of men aren't the top percent. We're all down here with you guys. Like it's like people who say if you can't tip, don't go out. Why would you shit on me? Shit on your boss for not paying you enough. How the fuck is that my fault? Like let's go after the restaurants not paying you guys $2 for $4 tips. Why are you fucking up me? I'm here with you, motherfucker. I'm trying to get some food. It's like it's the crabs in a barrel thing, and it's now to the point where like I really think there should be more of a movement of like, look, let's actually hit equality. Like, okay, we had the men had the fucking power. It swung to the women. Why can't we just swing to the middle? Why the fuck do we have to go all the way back over? We can find a middle ground, like Destiny was talking on the stream and he was doing the whole thing like talking about the man and the bear thing, and he brought up a point that he said men won't understand how it feels when a man walks into a room to a woman. And my counter is, well, nowadays, yes, the fuck you do. Because you can get fucked off some bullshit. Like, and maybe that's a good thing. It shocked men into being like, hey, stop being fucking creepy and weird. Like, be a fucking human. So now, if you're a bunch of dudes and a chick walks in, every last one of those guys are fucking tighten it up. Look straight. Don't say shit. And it's like that kind of fear. It's a different kind of fear. But that same level of like, ooh, fuck, is now leveled out. That's a good thing. We should both be worried about the worst in the other person, but we still should expect the best. We got to get back to that. Like, we need to get back to some sort of fucking normalcy, And if that kind of movement was there and then it was less elitism, which again, even though Trump is a literal fucking billionaire, the literal elite, somehow Harris was the elite, even though she was born of an immigrant, raised in California with low income shit, like, even though she is the American dream, somehow, and it's like, it's to the point where, fuck, do you go down to their level? Which I do think she should have done Rogan. I think she should have went on Rogan and shit on everybody. And I think, unironically, I think that would have helped her so much because Rogan and that whole crew, they are the weird Gen X. We're not really either one, but whichever one makes us feel good, we're gonna go for. And the combativeness is what he's after. Because he was mad. He was upset at the Trump interview. That's why he didn't want to do it before. Even though he came out and said it like a couple years ago, like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to be milquetoast. So if I come out, shoot him in there like, nah. Fuck that. Y'all are, come on now. Don't be dumb. You know what he is. Like we've seen what happens. Like even if you don't believe in COVID, you've seen what happens with the deficit spending. You see what happens. Why are we going back to this guy? They needed to be way more combative because that shows you're a human. When all you do is like smile and laugh. Like at first I was like, that's a dumb criticism, but I was like, at the end of the day, it makes you look inhuman. If all you're doing is smiling and laughing, where's the humanity? Like that's weird. That's weird as shit, And these people are so dumb, but they're gonna vote again in 4 years. Even though it's not Trump there, we're gonna have to come back to the table again, Hopefully,
That's the scariest part.
Actually, let me check myself. Hopefully, we come back in 4 years, and it's not just nah. We're not gonna vote this time, guys. I'm just gonna stay here. National Guard do your thing.
He did say like, this is your last time to vote, guys. You don't have to vote anymore to the Christians or whatever.
He did say, he's like, yeah, you don't have to vote anymore after this. And it's like, what? I was playing one of the games I played. Yeah, and I kind of stopped. I was like, wait a minute. What could that possibly mean other than like, either just give me the vote now and you guys can go disappear, or I'm your leader until I die, and then it goes down to Don Jr. Welcome to the oligarchy. Like there's no way you could spin that to where it's like, oh, this is a normal thing someone says. Imagine if fucking Harris came out to the black women, just vote this one time, you don't gotta worry about it no more. They'd be like, what does this mean? What are you talking about? It's like, and you can't have a middle ground with it. So again, fuck the magtards. We don't care about you. No. We don't have to be nice like that guy in the Facebook post that I saw. that was the first time in this whole political shit where I actually deleted someone because I was just like, you're not even here to have like a critique conversation. You're here, you're rage baiting. Like you're not actually saying anything. And I was like, I don't have time and I don't have to anymore. Before I was like, okay, well, let's get down to your level, dude. Look, come on, buddy. Let's
Oh, no.
find out where you're at, buddy. And now I'm like, go jump off a bridge in a video game. Go log into GTA, and go find the bridge and jump off of it in GTA. You're literally a useless person because you're not even coming with criticisms. Like I welcome criticism. It's like you do. Like we love to have these conversations, And like, I'm gonna shut up for a minute because I want to ask you a question. So with my son, I know we're pivoting, we're jumping around. That's what we do. We're unhinged, ADHD. Yeah. We're millennials. So with my son, a big thing for me is I always hated growing up and hearing you can't talk politics and religion at the dinner table. I hate it because what it told me is that either you're too afraid to talk about it or it's a bad thing, and that's just such a negative view because I think it fosters the inability to talk about these things without having arguments and fights and yelling and shit like that. So when you get to that point, because it's coming up, and I mean, my son's only 2, but I'm already seeing the cognitive ability, which is blowing my mind. This man is, sign language now. He knows how to say more. So if he doesn't have his milk, he gonna start, and then when he gets mad, he starts clapping. He fucking finger, but fuck, I need more now. Okay, so yeah, it's crazy. But have you thought about that, and growing up and kind of raising him, and like, where is your mind at?
Well, luckily for me, my grandmother's always been really political, so I've always had that chance to talk with her.
Nice.
And she's always she's campaigned. She did the whole campaigning for Obama back in 2008.
Oh,
Like she was canvassing, so she even got like the little picture. I gotta find that picture somewhere around the house, but like has a picture there's a picture of the Obama family saying, "Thank you for your contribution and your assistance," and blah blah blah.
Holy.
And even from her working inside the FBI building when I was young, it was always something I thought was important. So I definitely, if it comes to my son, I definitely want to talk with him. I'm not gonna try to steer him in any political way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna lay out the facts. Like this is the facts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is what happened. This is what this president did. This is what happened to these people. This is what war we went to. Blah blah blah. I will go through all the steps. Let him know this is what happened. And then when you come 18 and you make a choice to vote or you make a choice to align with the party, you at least know the facts. So if you were to, let's say, be Republican, and they're like, "Oh, do you support?" Let's say like Trump Jr.'s son ends up running, whatever,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Do you support John?" He's like, "I don't support Trump Jr.'s son because his dad did blank, 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 blank." True facts. Or I'd rather support this other Republican who I feel aligns with my views better. I'd rather have him do that than just to blindly follow Trump or whoever else is in the MAGA because they know they're going to be around for another 20 years because they won't die. It's like the Nazis won't die because everyone wants to be a Nazi nowadays. So at least I wanted to at least bring him all these values that I have and try to get him the facts of anything that he wants to believe, he will believe. But I want him to at least know how I stand on things and how I follow the truth and what steps I follow to get to there. I think that's more important than anything because trying to, dictate your child to be exactly like you is bad.
Mm-hmm.
2, trying to suppress your child from having any type of views is bad.
Mm-hmm.
And not listen to them when they have any expression of views is terrible. You're too young. You don't know what you're talking about. I think a 10-year-old can definitely tell you how they feel at that moment.
Yeah.
Let them express themselves and have an understanding. Like, okay, well, if this is wrong, hey, this is something that I can show you that's more factual. Just because they're kids doesn't mean they're stupid.
Yeah.
You should actually treat them with some type of respect, and maybe you have a brighter child in the future. So I don't know. That's one of my thoughts.
I'm glad you hit on that because that's a big thing. It's like people forget what it was like to be a kid so fast. Like I'm so glad I'm still young enough to understand and like there's key moments in raising him where I'm like, ooh, that's a good thing to do. Like it was one night, Kyra told me about it. It was like 10 p.m. and it was time to go to bed, but he went and grabbed a book. And she was like, no, put that down, it's time to go to bed. And I was like, well, maybe next time we'll read the book. Because it's like little things like that are things you want to pursue. Like we gave him an iPad and his projector always has like cartoons playing all the time, 24/7. There's technology around him all the time. So what he does now is he'll put the iPad down and go play with his toys or go pick up a book. He'll literally sit there on the ground and like turn the pages of a book. And it's because I desensitized him from the technology. Like when we were growing up, it was like certain times you can do it. We were growing up, and certain times you can have your phone on, and then at night you gotta shut up. But when you do that, you crave it. Now I want it more because now I can't have it. But if you just give it to you, it's like when we were teenagers, we went skateboarded for hours on end. We went and did a lot of dumb shit. But we went outside because we had the access to it all the time. And it was like, I'm kind of bored of this. Let's go do something else. And like that's such a big thing with raising him. Is I remember those moments as a kid. Like maybe I should give him his space right now. And like when we were, I'd say middle school, I was already like way ahead thinking about things that I probably shouldn't have been thinking about. But I didn't express it out loud, of course not, because you're too young. But your mind's already there. Like I don't care what anyone says. When you're say like 9, 10, 11, you're already thinking high school brain. Like your mind is way past the goo goo gaga 1+1 crap in front of you. You're like, nah, what about this and what about that girl and this, that, and the other, and so it's like I'm not gonna treat my son like he's dumb. Like I know what you're thinking about, dog. Like I literally was there. I get it. But let's come to a better understanding about facts and critical thinking. Like it's not what they should have taught more is and they think some people try in math. Like it's not about solving the problem, or it's not about having the answer. It's about solving the problem. Because you can always find an answer. You can always find something, but how did you get there? That's all I care about. Like you can be wrong, but if your method was a good method, keep the method. That's a good thing, Like that guy, I can't remember his name, that was on the Destiny's thing, who was like, yeah, Trump's never gonna appoint Tulsi and RFK. He's never gonna do that. That'd be crazy. I would have voted for Harris. And everyone's like, what are you talking about? Of course he is. This is what he does. And then he did it, and then he was like, oh man, this is a bad prediction. Man, all the signs show that he wasn't gonna do this. And we're like, what are you talking about? And that was someone who was thought to be like a critical thinking, intelligent kind of guy. But it was like, how are you so blind to reality? Like Trump doesn't care about anything but gaining power. That's it. That's all. If he has to change, move, bend, break, it doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, he's gonna say he didn't break and he didn't bend, and that he won and he won all along. And that kind of like mentality is like, I guess before then I've saw it in other people, but I didn't think I'd see it in a president. Like we've known people who will never say they fucked up. They'll never say I did wrong. They'll never apologize. And we're like, oh, that's a crazy person. People can acknowledge that and will never vote or put this person in power. That's my whole life. I was like, yeah, we all recognize that guy's crazy. Anyways, let's move on. That's the fun guy over there. That's the crazy uncle. But then Trump comes along and bolsters the crazy uncles. And people realize there's a lot of fucking crazy uncles out there. And for some reason, crazy aunts. How is there any woman on this earth voting for someone who was found liable for sexual assault and rape and openly laughed about grabbing women by the pussy and walking in on pageants and like saying you can get anything you want from women because you're a celebrity? Like he's just out there saying it. He's just out there saying, and it's like, even though some people could say like, yeah, that can be a real thing, but it's a bad thing. He's boasting about it, and the fact there was and then like, oh, this is a whole new segment we have to go on. Fucking the black community. 2 black dads, black community. We gotta talk about this shit. What the fuck is going on in the hood right now? I moved out the shit, so I don't know what the fuck the feeling is. But why the fuck are there so many Trump supporters in the hood right now? My mind is fucking blown. I'm like, wait, you guys are unironically saying, let's go Trump. I'm like, wait. And then I saw someone say, we're gonna get a stimmy again. And it's just like, you don't understand. It's the balance of, one person shouldn't represent all, but we all need to represent each other, and only minorities have to deal with some shit like that. Like, only minorities will understand that. What the fuck is going on? And you can't reach them, because even if you talk to them, they think it's cool to be stoic and have shitty opinions and never debate these opinions. Because if your mind gets changed, you've lost. That pride shit, that shit that builds on the homophobia. Well, actually, I'm answering my own fucking question. It's the pride. It's the same reason why they're homophobic, is because like, oh, if I'm soft, I'm gay, it's bad. And it's just like, I didn't realize that we had the reach. Because now they're no longer the kids they're now adults. 18 plus. Y'all vote now. Y'all matter. Like, damn, like, man, this is gonna be our mission this year, though. But what's your takes on all this madness?
Unfortunately, the red pill community aligns very well with black men, because a lot of black men don't care about a significant other, don't care about building families, They just want to fuck around, move on to the next one. Have, for example, a coworker.
Mm.
He has 4 baby mamas, 6 kids,
Mm.
and he's just bragging about like, oh yeah, yeah, I got a bunch of baby mamas, but it's cool, I got this other job lined up, and I'm trying to hook up my other baby mama so I have another kid. Why is that your mindset? Like, and then another coworker who's an older gentleman, who's black, because I had to do a ride along with him, I do security,
Mm-hmm.
and he was talking about like, oh, I have a daughter, and I want to raise her right. I was like, okay, cool. I have older kids. I was like, okay, cool. And then he went into this thing where like, yeah, I'm a what is it called? Not a renewed like Christian, but like he
Born again?
born again Christian. He's like, I'm a born again Christian, and my wife, she aligns with like Kamala Harris. She thinks that she's really good. Now I do like a lot some of the things that Kamala Harris does, but my born again Christian side, when it comes to abortion, I just can't align with that, and I can't align with trans people being aligned with like being inside other people's restrooms. And he started going that tirade, and I was like, okay. He's like, so I want to make sure like I let my kids know that this is the way that this type of thing is wrong. And I don't want to step on my wife's toes, but I feel like as a man, like this is something I was like, damn, wow, okay. I was thinking that whole mindset of this, I'm a man, so this is what I need to do. Is just so ingrained in the black community,
I just,
and that's one of those things where I think they've always leaned more conservative,
Mm-hmm.
but they've always voted more like Democrat,
Mm-hmm.
because it's kind of been like the mindset from the Black Panthers and everything like that. They've always been more leaning to the left, so they've kind of felt aligned to do that. But I feel like this new generation, especially with like these new red pill guys who are like how they treat women. Trump treats women that exact way.
Mm-hmm.
He treats women like they're trash.
Mm-hmm.
So for in his mindset, for the red people, I was like, of course, we want to treat women like shit. We want to have one-sided open relationships. Trump doesn't give a fuck. Of course, we don't align with him. He's the guy that we want. So we have to show men that A, you have a problem with incels that needs to be talked about. That aligns with the white men, which we get into later.
Mm-hmm.
B, we have to teach men that uh, you can treat your significant other with respect like a human being.
Mm-hmm.
And trust me, your relationships will last. You have multiple kids with them, and you won't fucking have 5 baby mamas. I think it's the issue with the core of the black community
Mm-hmm.
of this whole women need to. If the man goes to prison, the woman has to hold it down, and I gotta be a man. I gotta do whatever I gotta do to provide, rather than going, okay, let me lock down and figure out what's best for my family, what's best for myself, so that I can actually live on and not be in jail or dead, so my child can like go off and not have a father figure. So they just get stuck in this mindset. Where am I find a father figure at? Oh, let me talk to the guy on the side of the street.
Mm-hmm.
But now that we have the internet, they don't even talk to the guy on the side of the
Mm-hmm.
street who's telling them fuck these bitches there and shit. They go on the internet, watch a dumbass like fucking what was it
Tate.
yeah Andrew
Fresh and
yeah
Fit.
and
Yeah.
Fresh and Fit, those dumbasses
Mm-hmm.
who don't have any fulfilling loving relationships,
Mm-hmm.
or when they did, they want to throw them off like, oh yeah, that never happened. Oh, she's just a side piece. Like, no, don't. We need to have better
Yeah.
role models on the left
Mm-hmm.
who tell them like this is what an actual family is. The one with rights. You remember the when conservatives used to be like, oh, you need to have like you need to have your family. You gotta make sure you have a good structure in the home. They don't do that anymore. They don't give a fuck about that. So we and the left, we had to take those ideals of a family
Yeah.
values and bring it over here and show them how it has to be done right. We have to show them what actually having good families and good loving relationships.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like,
Yeah, you triggered me when you brought up. I forgot about the Red Pill shit. You remember Kevin Samuels?
yeah.
So, I am the type of person who will consume the content and see like how I feel about it. And after I've watched The Fresh and Fit, I watched No Fugazi, I've watched that other one with the Hispanic kids, and I watched Kevin Samuels. The funny part about all these things is Kevin Samuels was the best version of anything that would even be considered red pill, because Kevin Samuels was not that masculine. My man was about fashion. My man was about cologne, smelling good. The early days of Kevin Samuels, I'm talking about like the early ones. He was talking to dudes. He did not talk to females. The original Kevin Samuels, he would go in on these guys. These guys would be like, women don't want me because I'm fucking fat. He'd be like, well, go to the fucking gym. What are you doing right now? Smell good. Talk to someone with respect. Like, he was legit. It was like, oh shit, yeah. Do that stuff. Yeah. It wasn't until all of the kind of like older women, kind of not as in shape, were kind of like, I want to be a millionaire, that he was kind of like, maybe we need to start talking to the females. And the early Kevin Samuels, it was very much like, all right, let's be real. Y'all want real and honest. Let's be real and honest. How old are you? How much do you weigh? Why don't you just get a regular guy? A guy's making 60K, 70K. You can find a man like that. There's plenty of great men out there. No, I want me a rich man. And that's when he turned on the, listen here, you big, burly foot, and then like, that's in the, but those clips are the ones that go viral, obviously, and other ones don't. But Kevin Samuels, really, like, and you can ask Kyra, when he died, I was shocked because I was listening to this man daily. And it wasn't listening to for advice, but listening to how people interacted. I wanted to see how his fans interacted, how the women that came on the show interacted. And then after he died, it went to people like Fresh and Fit and No Fugazi, which is not the same thing. There is nothing positive about those shows. There's nothing good about those men. It's all cringe crap. It's crap. I wouldn't even call it bullshit because I like the word bullshit. That's a fun word. It's crap. Yeah. It's a corny word. It's crap. Because there's nothing positive. There's nothing good. They promote the opposite of what Kevin Samuels promoted. Kevin Samuels promoted, and even though he did come on that show sometimes and go in, that's his character. He's going to do that. I mean, it was funny. Some things were fucked up, some things were funny. It's past that point. But the whole goal was to bring everyone back to reality. Let's everyone calm the fuck down, and we're not all going to make six figures. We're not all going to make $600,000 a year. Some of us will peak at like 70, 80K. But we can still have families. Why not bring the families back? Let's get more people married. Like, he was a big person at getting people married. Got a lot of black people married, which is crazy. But no one talks about it, of course, because, Red Pill, and it got tainted. But I always moved Kevin Samuels to the side because me personally, I actually consumed the content and I actually watched what he was saying and when shit got off the rails and things like that. But there's literally nothing redeeming about the current Red Pill community. There's nothing redeeming about Tate Brothers. There's nothing redeeming about Fresh and Fit. And even Fresh and Fit, you're starting to see it now. The people that we were fucking talking, everyone talk shit about Fresh, he's now starting to see Myron's insane. And this Red Pill bullshit is dumb. It's stupid. It doesn't connect. It doesn't connect with him as a person because now he's starting to laugh at this dumb, and then like the racial stuff. Like when Myron was in those only whites only spaces. All these dumbasses in the Red Pill forgot the only color that really mattered was white to these people. That's what y'all forgot. Y'all thought red meant we could all be red. No, it did not. They're openly dropping hard R's, telling you to get the fuck out of the space. And then the whole time he's just like, this is a cool thing. And he did that whole KKK thing with the hood on Sneeko's channel. And it's like, but think of Sneeko, he is the people they're talking to. That young guy that's confused and kind of going back and forth on mindsets, and he sees different movements don't align with what he feels. Like the Me Too movement really didn't align with a lot of guys just because it didn't affect a lot of guys, and they weren't taking the time to think about what it meant for the women, and then it got out of hand and it kind of went a little too far. And so there's a whole push and pull of balancing out your ideals of rooting for the little guy before he becomes the big guy. And I think that got lost with a lot of progressives. Like, you're only the little guy until you have all the voices. Once you have all the voices, now you're the big guy. And now it's time to not be the other big guy. It's time to change. But they didn't. It became the same thing how guys did. Like, the same... Like, I can't believe there's actually, like, men hate groups. It's kind of weird. It's kind of like I can understand being anger and have pain, but like you're now just doing the same thing they did to you. It's like, well, so nothing got fixed, and then what's gonna happen is they're gonna do it back to you again, and now it's gonna be worse because they saw what happened when they let up. And I really feel like I agree with you 100%. As left people, fuck the I'm an independent. I don't conform to nah, motherfucker. I'm a Democrat. I live in America. I know the Democrat Party is the only party that fucking cares about me. And once anything, I want pushed. So I'm not gonna be a fucking coward. Like I'm an independent. No, I'm a Democrat. I'm fucking blue. Fuck it. Let's go. Like we need to be pushing more of what made us important. And the whole reason why me and you exist, like we're both from different mixed shits. You know what I'm saying? Like the only reason why we're able to bounce out and move around and have the thoughts we have is because of the Democratic Party. Like imagine if Obama didn't get elected and it was fucking Mitt Romney back to back. Like, people don't think about shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine if it went the other way. Like, it'd be even worse, you know? So, like, we're I think it's gonna be hard, but we gotta get to these young kids that are in their 20s and 20. It's like, listen, guys, stop listening to these bitter ass old dudes. Just like everyone says stop listening to the bitter ass old ladies, we're at bitter ass old dudes. Like you said, a dude that got like kids and baby mama, you're old and bitter. You made a bunch of stupid choices and now you're angry and you're lashing out. Do not lash out. Just fix your fucking life, dog. Find one of your baby mamas you love and make a fucking family and support the other ones. Like, what are you talking about? You got all these kids and you think that's bad. That is a negative thing because each one of those children who don't grow up with a dad, like you said, without a father figure, you look for the nearest nigga you can find. And usually it's not the type of dude you should be talking to because he didn't have nobody to talk to. You know, like, breaking the cycle just was forgotten about. People forgot we have to break the cycle. Like, we have to. I was lucky. I was real lucky that you met Rondo, that my mom met him. And I was lucky to find a person that had that much fucking just masculine energy without the toxic side of it. You know, like, he was a man. He understood the choices he made in life, and he lets you know there's consequences, but there's also really good shit you can do. So maybe look at the good shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, understand you have actions. Like, if you got in trouble, you got in trouble. You're going to get punished. But you got to understand why. Because that's remember, it's not the answer, but it's how you got the answer. And people have lost that. And like, and you have the comedians, and they forgot that comedy is a way to indoctrinate people. You can make them laugh. But look what George Carlin did. It was an amazing thing. He was able to be so political and funny, but everything he said rang true. There was no lies. You know, that was in people these days that think they're like George Carlin. They're not. You're the hack. He would hate what's going on today. Because even on vaccines, he even had like a joke where he was like, I understand there's confusion and they need to be open about the science, but guess what? I don't want fucking polio. So get your fucking vaccine. Like literally, he was like, I get it. You can question shit. But like, why would we want to bring that back? And that actually came back. Remember during COVID, there were some schools that had fucking polio outbreaks because people weren't vaccinating their kids. What is wrong with you people? You're insane. You're setting up your children for a horrible life, a shitty future. What do we want, the Black Plague to come back too? Like, these vaccines are good. These are important things. These are helped. They've always helped. They only stopped helping when they told you they stopped helping. The person that told you that was lying because they were fucking vaccinated and their kids were vaccinated. All those Republican, conservative, political talking heads, and all that, they all are vaccinated. All their kids are vaccinated. There's not one of them that isn't. It's retarded. And now we got RFK. Fuck me. The man that had an actual brainworm. He had an actual real life brainworm that died in his head. What? And I'm sorry to say it, but every time I hear him talk, what's wrong? What is going on? That's not normal. That is abnormal. And he's supposed to be the health administrator? The brainworm guy that sounds like he's gonna pass out at any second? That wants to take out fluoride and removes vaccinations. It's like, and then again, like we said earlier, half of me was like, fuck it, don't do it, die. Whatever. Natural selection, I guess, you know? But at the same time, I'm like, well, fuck, I don't want to be... Like, I don't want it to happen with the Iran deal that happened to like our health system. Like, when we put out the Iran deal and all of a sudden they got all those nukes, that was a bad thing. That was a preventable thing, and that shouldn't have happened. But it happened. And now we're in a scarier climate because of that. And that was Trump's fault.
Directly.
It was 100% on him. He pulled out of the... I know we're talking about RFK, but fucking Trump, I hate him and we're gonna shit on him. He pulled out of the international fucking ozone shit. It was something about emissions coming down, and he pulled out of that because he felt like we were paying. It was like the France Accord or some shit, and he felt like we were paying too much, but we weren't at all. We were paying like the least amount, and the EU actually paid more. It was like everything about it was dumb, and he did all these bad things while he was in office that everyone just forgets about because it doesn't affect them right now. It doesn't right immediately. But you know what will affect your ass right now? Fucking tariffs. You better, if you got Temu orders or fucking Shein orders, you know, Alibaba or fuck those other websites, you better get it in now because it's all gonna fuck you, you know. And then tariffs is a really big thing. Like, I have a coworker. He's 22. He's going to college. And he said the first time he got into politics, I think we talked about before, was when he was 12. Was during Trump's first run. And he said he was very conservative. Remember, I'm in Iowa, so, I mean, that's par for the course. But he said after he took, like, he literally said, I took an economics class 101, and it changed my whole views on Trump. And I was like, that's hilarious and depressing at the same time that all it took was a 101 to make you realize how stupid it was. But at the same time, it's how many people just need to take a 101 class to fucking wake up, you know?
Yeah.
But we talked about, we had like a really, this was before the election, we had a really good talk, like right after work about just everything that's going on. And he was like, yeah, you know, I feel like I was listening to the Joe Rogan podcast and Elon was on there and he's talking about all this stuff, about all the good things he does with his money. I was like, you talking about the dude that got fined by the FEC for illegal shit? Talking about him? That's kind of weird, isn't it? He's like, well, every rich person does illegal stuff. And I was like, okay, it's going to be one of those conversations. I was like, okay, that's fine. What about tariffs? He was like, tariffs are good. You know, tariffs are going to make the Chinese people, the imports, they're going to pay for them. And then they're going to, and I was like, think about a tariff. Why would they pay on things they're exporting? Why would they pay the tax when that's going to get imported now? The person that has to pay that is the person importing it. He's like, yeah, that's good. Then we'll start making stuff here. And what? So you're like, okay, let the economy collapse and we start making socks. Let's stop making the chips that go in smartphones. Let's make socks because Trump doesn't want to buy them from China. And I was like, does that make sense? It's like, it's only going to hurt the businesses here that are importing them. The person that could have added a decal on the sock and then upcharged it for 100%, and now that profits come back to America. Now, no, we're going to make the sock and then we're going to export the decal. Because guess what? Everything's going to get exported. We don't have enough people to make all these products that are honestly beneath us making. Like we are a first world country. We are over the basic utensils. We're not making forks anymore. We're making plutonium grade fucking ice picks. Like, you know, like we're past the lower level. And I was like, why would you want to support something that hurts us and then hopefully helps maybe possible in the future? And he kind of looked at me, you know, and he was like, okay, that kind of makes sense. And then he was talking about, what about taxes? He's like, why would you want to, do you think we should make the rich pay more in taxes? I was like, well, let's think about it. There was a tax in Vegas. I remember it was something about the taxes that the casinos pay. I think it was like 3%. And they were talking about doubling that to 6%. And the amount of money that would have came in would have transformed the Las Vegas educational system. Because it was like some $1 billion. Like it just an incredible boom to the economy. But it got turned down because it was raising taxes on the rich. And I was like, well, let's say, look at Jeff Bezos. Didn't he lose half his money? It was like 180 billion. Made it back in a couple days. Yep. So what if we just took 1 billion? Just 1%. We just took 1%. If he paid 1% more in taxes, imagine what he could do. And of course, these numbers are, you know, elongated and just off the top. But I'm saying, like, the amount of money he has, he could give just less than a fraction of a percent more, and it would just change things drastically. And I was like, wouldn't you want that? Like, if you were rich in America, wouldn't you want the American people also to be rich, to keep buying your product? Wouldn't you want your consumer base to be able to consume? Doesn't that make sense? Like, we are a capitalist country, but we're also a democratic republic, you know, social, blah, blah, blah. So, like, we have both sides. Like, you can make as much money as here to become as rich as you want, but at the same time, wouldn't you want at least our people not to be poor? Like, why are there places in Detroit that look like Afghanistan? That doesn't make sense. Why do we have that? Why can't one of these billionaires just, fuck it, go buy Detroit? I don't care. Like, if Elon was like, I'm going to go buy 3 poor cities in Alabama. Cool. Flip the whole, that's a cool thing, cool. Because now all their cost of living, not their cost of living, but their fuck is that a word? Not cost of living, but their, like, rate of living or their quality of life. Their quality of life will just shoot through the fucking roof. Mm-hmm. Like, these are things you should be doing with this much money. And if you're not going to do it, guess what? You're going to get taxed a little bit more. Yeah. Because you have more money than you can spend in your lifetime, in your kids' lifetime, in their lifetime. The money is going to be there forever. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't you want to put more back into the system? Like, wouldn't you want to raise... Why do we have lower class in America? We shouldn't even have that shit. It should be middle and upper. Why the fuck do we even have a lower? That doesn't make sense in the richest country. And like, I think we have, like, majority of the top 10 richest people in the world live in America. Like, and he was like, well, the UAE are richer than that. And I was like, you talking about that family? You talking about the country where everyone's in a one big ass family? Basically, their family is the wealth of the country, dog. Like, it's not like individual people. They're just saying the country has wealth. If you put the wealth of our country, it topples everything, you know? And then, but just these kind of things, and you can see his brain going, and then he kind of laughed. He's like, damn, you're good. And I was like, I'm not good. I'm just fucking competent. Like, just, these are normal, basic, everyday things everyone should just think about, you know? If I had $180 billion and I could take $1 billion and revitalize a fucking state, I'm not thinking twice, you know? And I'm going to make sure that money goes to everywhere it needs to go, all the way trickled down. Because, of course, there's people in the middle that fucking skim money, and there's corrupt people in the government and shit like that. But that mindset has gone from America. And now the Republican Party, who once said, I don't want to have a white savior, I don't want to have, you shouldn't want to rely on a politician to save you, have now flipped and said, please, Daddy Trump, save me.
Yep.
They have completely, they'll pull yourself up by your bootstraps, have ripped off their bootstraps, spread their butt cheeks, and said, Daddy Trump, please, give me some of your money goo. Like, I need it, you know? And it's like, I got one more story, and I'll let you go, because I have another question for you. But I had a conversation with a guy on Facebook, also from Iowa. He was a heavy-set guy. Of course, they're usually bald and fat. It's miserable life. I understand that. And he started arguing with me, and it basically came down to he did all the spitting points. Oh, gas is expensive because I'm buying. I'm like, no, it's because of the Ukraine war. Oh, immigrants are taking all their money and stealing jobs, and having welfare. And I'm like, how the fuck can you do all of that at once? This is an impossibility to be welfare working like it. And we just kind of, but basically it came down to he finally just said it. Well, I had money to pay the bills and now I don't, so it's the Democrats' fault and Trump's going to help. And I was like, oh, I see. He's like, I haven't paid my taxes for 15 years. And I was like, oh.
Oh.
I was like, so you just made bad decisions. You're in a shitty spot in life and you're looking for someone to blame. And then it clicked. It finally clicked in my head. Majority of the magtards are that. They made stupid decisions. They're in a shitty spot and life fucking sucks. And they look over at the Democrats, and Democrats are like, come on, guys. We're doing great out there. Numbers are looking good. And they're sitting in their shitty little fucking hut. And they're like, I'm not doing great. So you guys must be wrong. But it's like, no. You could be doing great, but you chose not to. That was a choice. No one forced that miserable fucking life on you. And then I realized, because there's all these trolls that they're like, now that Trump won, now they're all finally popping out of their 4-year coma, I guess they were in, and they were just gone for 4 years and said nothing on social media. And now all of a sudden they're there in every comment section, liking every post, LOL, and every fucking. And it's like, where did you guys come from? What happened? Because we've been here the whole fucking time. We were here 4 years of Trump, 4 years of Biden. We ain't stopped because the fight doesn't fucking stop. But you guys just kind of cowered and crawled into your hole, And I really, they're just all miserable. They're miserable people, just miserable, and I will say, the Democrats forgot about the men. They forgot. They forgot about the men, and they forgot about the majority of the men. The white men, black men, they forgot about the men. The men were forgotten about and told, you're fine because of patriarchy. You're fine because of patriarchy. You're fine because of patriarchy. And at the same time, they're miserable, having shit lives, in debt. Like, we were both in horrible debt, but we fucking climbed out of that shit. Because guess what? The debt doesn't stop because I'm sad. Like, the debt doesn't stop because I'm broke. It's still gonna fucking be there. So go to work, get your shit done, find a fucking hot lady to fucking have kids with. Like, life doesn't stop because you're miserable. Like, we have to keep going. And again, agree. We will fucking hammer this home every fucking episode. We were going to bring that shit back. That's why this shit's called Two Black Dads. There's fucking black, and there's two of us, and we're fucking dads. We need to bring back positive male role models. Fuck me, this is a huge thing before. Positive male role models was a big thing. And half of it was the negative shit, and half of it was a lot of women wanted positive female role models. Good. We can have both. Literally. Bathrooms are men and women, motherfucker. We can have both. We don't, and then have the fucking gender neutral one to the side. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. That doesn't hurt anyone. In fact, it brings more money because guess what? There's more construction, so someone's gonna get a fucking job to go build that fucking bathroom, and there's more money in the goddamn economy. Like, that's wrong.
The illegals gonna be building that. So, and also on welfare.
Yeah, they're gonna be working and also on welfare, even though there's a fucking income cutoff for that shit. Speaking of illegals. How do you feel about the immigration conversation? Like, is it even worth having these days? Is it a thing that people even really care about? Like, what do you think about that?
One, they don't care. Two, they weren't even paying attention to the immigration rates. The legal immigration rate has been going down and has been down for a long time. Even under Trump, the fact that Trump goes out there and says, "Oh, they're just." Like Kamala Harris is walking over there herself, walking up to the border, like, "Hey, come on, guys, come on, everyone in, everybody!" Like, come on, like, bitch. No, that's stupid. The rates have been down for illegal immigrants. The whole idea of the fentanyl being a bad thing. Yes, there's fentanyl coming to this country, but at the end of the day, There's always drugs coming in this country. It's hard to tackle the drug trade as hard as you can, but the amount that's been coming in has been lower because they've been getting caught at the border. Like they get illegal vehicles, illegal U.S. citizens, and they mule their vehicles into the United States. They think that, oh, they're not going to really do an extensive check into it, and Border Patrol finds it. They get it. The person gets arrested. Anyone who's not from America goes back. This happens a lot at the border. Border Patrol is not stopped. They're if you ever type in Border Patrol news, you'll be like, what the fuck? Every day there's something going down on the border. Every day. So the fact that Trump is literally lying, saying that, oh, it's the worst it's ever been. These people just walk through the borders, millions of immigrants. Like, this is a literal lie that he's purposely perpetrating through his entire base. That I literally see people saying this all the time. I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? Like, where are these immigrants at? Please, where are these raping, murdering, undocumented fucking immigrants at? How do you know they're out here raping and murdering? They're undocumented. You don't know who they are. So you tell me there's millions of them just walking to the border. How? Like, every time I hear the immigration conversation, it just makes me so fucking mad. Because no one's having a real conversation. Like, oh, maybe it's issues here. Or maybe it's issues with, like, embassy. Asylums and stuff like that. Maybe that might be the real issue.
Oh, God, the asylum where Trump's like, they're coming from insane asylums because he thinks asylum means insane asylums. Oh my! Both
things democracy means Democrat. Yeah. He's fucking stupid. Like, I don't understand anyone can sit here and listen to him. Yeah. Like, the fact that you guys will shit here and shit on Biden anytime he goes out and talks, like, oh, he's stuttering or he's murmuring on for too long in the conversation. But Trump, you ask Trump a direct question, he would say nothing for 30 minutes, and it says, we're gonna bring it back and make America great again. At the end of it, everyone starts clapping. People have no attention span. Yeah. So the whole immigration thing is it's a waste of time to talk about because no one cares. All the people who are illegal here can't even vote, and they can't get Social Security. So why does it matter? You guys act like that this is like a thing that's happening. They're not stealing your Social Security. They're not stealing your jobs. They're getting low wages jobs that they've always gotten that people aren't going to work. Are you going to go out in the field and pick fucking oranges? Are you going to go out in the field and pick all this shit? You're not going to do it. You're going to be like, oh, I'm not doing that job. I'm going to get a job in tech because every fucking conservative wants to get a job in tech. So I have a question for conservatives. You want to remove all the immigrants out of this country who work these jobs that work in the field, hands-on jobs, but you all want to work in tech and all want to do like engineering and shit like that. Who the fuck's going to work these jobs? Are you going to work the jobs in your engineering career?
Yeah.
No? Why are we having this conversation? Because one, you don't care, and two, again, I don't know. What was I gonna say? I don't know what goes through their mind when they say immigration is our biggest issue. When one, no one ever talks about it. I've never seen the conversation happen until Trump says it. Trump says immigration is bad. Everyone starts talking about it. When Trump doesn't say anything, immigration doesn't exist. Also, I guess you could say like inflation has been an issue, but we already know inflation has happened from A, COVID, B, the war in Ukraine, which you guys don't act like it's not a big deal. Because you realize a Russian annex that takes over Ukraine, those prices ain't going fucking down. Let's be under Russia's. We literally put sanctions on Russia to the point where their economy almost collapsed. You think that if they get all
that oil,
Ukraine. And all that, or you think they're gonna be like, oh yeah, America, let's go ahead and have it cheap. I don't care anymore. No, that would fuck you over even more. So you should be pissed off at Russia. So that's a real issue, not fucking immigration, which you guys don't give a shit about. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
You're right, because people don't even understand that the whole reason why gas went up this time was literally because of the war with Ukraine and Russia. People don't understand that. Like, yes, we're producing more crude oil than any other nation ever. Actually, ever in the history of ever. Like, I actually looked it up. It literally said we're creating more crude oil ever. Anywhere ever. Like they were like, let's emphasis on understand this. And at the same time, a lot of our actual gas that we run on because people don't understand that that's different. They don't understand crude oil just isn't something you pump from the fucking ground and shoot in your car. I think that's what they think. They think you pump the oil from the pipeline, it goes straight to the gas station, they put it in my fucking car. I honestly think that's what they think, because when they say, when people hear me say, oh, we make the most crude oil, it's like, well, why is it expensive? Like, wait, do you think crude oil is the same as fucking gas? You idiot. No, we get a lot of that shit from fucking Ukraine. People didn't fucking know that shit. So when that war happened between them, our gas prices shot up. And like you said, if they actually do take it, Russia takes it, you think they're going to be like, oh yeah, he's friends with Trump, it's going to be fine. No. Why the fuck would they ever, even if they were friends, why would I ever do that? No, I'm going to charge you triple, quadruple the amount. Because there's nothing you can do. Because either you pay for it or you don't have the fucking oil. That people forgot, because of what happened in the Middle East about the war on oil. They forgot. Motherfucker, that's still a thing. It still exists. That oil is still in the fucking ground being pumped up, you know? People still care about that shit. And it's going to cost a lot. And I agree with what you said. No one cares about immigration, because for 4 years no one said anything about it. It wasn't a problem, and all of a sudden it's a problem again. It's like, no, the problem is the amnesty and the I just said asylum. That's the problem. The problem is because of the laws, and we had a bill that was gonna help and fix that, and it was pushed down because of Trump, and like no one cares. It's like, it's so insane to me that we have to live in a country with people who don't care about anything, but at the same time want everyone else to care about everything. It's like, you people are insane. Like, why? You know, and it sucks, because there once was somewhat a Republican Party. There was once a something there. And the scary part is, though, it's so shit now, there's nothing that's going to push again. So, actually, this is a key point. The Republican Party was here, and over here. The Democratic Party was over here, and they kind of pushed and pulled. But the Republican Party went so far over here, the Democratic Party had to push against their own far. So then it became, this is pushing, and then this is just way off screen. So then you have the infighting and then off screen, you know? And then it's not even so much the infighting is a really bad thing in a sense, but it's like, we shouldn't have to rein in their own party. The whole point is to have a balance of the system, but there is no balance now. The Republican Party is no more. We are the Magtard Party. They are the Magtard Party. They are the party of Trump. There is nothing else. Republicans do not exist, so they need to change it. On the voting polls, change it. It is no longer Republican. It is Magtard Party. They have forgot what it means, even though, in my honest opinion, it's unnecessary. It's unnecessary, in my opinion, to have a conservative, someone who wants to conserve values. Why? The world is always moving forward. Time is always moving forward. We should always be striving to change for better and better and better things. We should never be like, nah, let's bring that old shit back. Nah, fuck that. And even if you are, you should change it so then you're not conserving anything. You're progressive because you're progressing. That word has also been fucking tainted, but that's what that means. To progress, to move forward, to adapt. Like, hey, we're the adapt party. Okay, fuck that. You know what I mean? Like, we need to do that. That was forgotten. It's lost. We are now the whatever's mainstream. I hate that. So I'm going to go for the thing that actually is mainstream but says they're not. That's the Magtard Party. They think Trump is one of the man guy in the, gym. That is the man that owns the fucking building you never see. That is Trump. He is not someone in the trenches with you. The person in the trenches with you is probably a dude that has a single mom that grew up with just her and maybe one or two siblings. That's a person in the trenches, And to kind of tie back to the guy you were talking about earlier we were just talking about black community because we're from the black community. It is crazy to me that still, after all this time and all the Jordan Peels and all these people who have shown, stop being that weird animal. There's nothing positive about having all that pride if you have nothing to show for it. Fuck me. The people that got online and raged about Meg Thee Stallion twerking at Harris's fucking event, it made me so. I forgot this anger was there that I had for the black community in this sense. Y'all think now is the time to worry about image? Y'all were pumping Sexy Red up to the point where she's on fucking WWE.
Yep.
That's the image of black women. Her and Jade Cargill. That's all we got. We got fucking the Thaddeus Thought and then the fucking mommy, buff mommy. That's it. Well, y'all don't care about image. Y'all support these. King Von still gets love and appreciation. Nigga was a fucking serial killer. Y'all still gang banging. Y'all still killing your own people, shooting up party. But Meg Thee Stallion twerking is what broke the black image? what the fuck? And I got blocked by a couple rappers because I was like, ain't no way. I just look at their Instagram posts. The post right before they're shitting on Meg Thee Stallion. Guess what it was? Them in the club, booty shaking.
Ass shaking everywhere.
What the fuck? How can you have these two fucking congruent things? You are promoting the image, and man, it's like it's a dance move. Who gives a fuck?
No.
Cheerleaders twerk, and they're in fucking middle school. It's weird. It shouldn't, but it happens. But it's not like, how is this the line? So now we gotta really support Trump. The white dude who didn't hire black people or let them live in his fucking complex. What the fuck are we on? Like, where are we right now? I feel like I'm in a fucking... I feel like my brain is being broken from the amount of incongruent things in reality. Like, I understand reality is a thing, but people act in a way that it's not. How can you live in such an alternate universe while being in this universe? How can you have such disjointed views of everything and have nothing to combat that? Because again, eventually with this, I want to have people come on, and I'm all for the go ahead, say your whole piece, right? Say your whole piece, get it out, but be ready, because I'm fucking gonna chop every fucking thing you say down, because people forgot how to do that shit. They think if I just word vomit and give you the blah, you can't pick through that, so you can't have a motherfucker. Yes, I can. We've been in the trenches. We were built for this shit, and it needs to happen. Yeah. People are too nice. It's weird to say, but they're too nice to people who say just the most dumbest thing. Like the whole, I love them, but the whole Black Panther Hamas thing, that was fucking insane. Insane. That's it. Just, but the fact that it, and that's, you know, on the another side of our own side, there's a lot of stuff going on there, but they're fucked now too, because Trump's there, and he's like, Israel, here's all your weapons, blow them bitches to Timbuktu. It's gonna be 4 years. You thought fucking the war was bad with Biden in office? You thought it was a genocide with Biden and Harris in office? You thought it was bad. Genocide. Trump might press the button his damn self. He might have a party with Netanyahu, with Bibi in a fucking boat, launching missiles from the fucking boat into the... You gotta... Matter of fact, this is a good time to switch over to one of these clips.
Uh-oh.
To switch over to one of these fucking clips to the main man, Marco Rubio. This is a good
cabinet, by the way.
Who's in the fucking cabinet, baby? All right, because there was a lot of these progressives who were talking all this shit about, oh, they're supporting the fucking genocide, and oh, Harris and Biden ain't doing shit. Well, guess what you got now? You got this right here. Let's see if we can play this.
Senator Rubio, will you call for ceasefire?
No, I will not. On the contrary.
Rubio,
are you filming it?
Wait,
so I want you guys to get this. I want them to destroy every element of Hamas they can get their hands on. These people are vicious animals who did horrifying crimes. And I hope you guys post that.
And what about the civilians that are being killed every day?
Hamas should stop hiding behind civilians, putting civilians in the way. Hamas knew that this was going to lead to this. So Hamas should stop building their military installations underneath hospitals.
So you don't care that 15,000 have died? You don't care about the babies that are being killed every day?
I think it's horrifying. I think it's terrible, and I think Hamas is 100% to blame. That's what I think. Make sure you post that, please.
So here we are outside.
And here's the kicker. I don't disagree with what a lot of you were saying. Well, I say a lot, some of you were saying. The things about Hamas shouldn't be hiding behind people, I agree. They knew that was going to happen, I agree. Babies are dead, I agree. It's bad. And I agree that Hamas shouldn't be there anymore. The scary part, though, is I feel for the fucking Palestinian people. And they're the ones who are going to get fucked in this. Yeah. Hamas is like, they're a terrorist organization, they don't give a fuck, they're here. You know, we're going to die either way. We're going to fucking shoot for our freedom. But the people are like, they're about to get fucked. Because that man his anger, in my mind, is justified in the sense of we should be angry at Hamas, but it's not going to be pointed that way. It's going to be pointed at Palestine. Palestine's going to get blown to shit, not Hamas. And the people are going to get destroyed, not Hamas. Because Hamas is a terrorist ideal. They can literally just go away and come back in 20 years. Because you can't kill an ideal. You can't kill the idea of Hamas. You can kill the people who are Palestinians, you know? But it's like...
the Taliban.
Yeah, exactly. The same fucking... And guess who made a deal with the Taliban? Fucking Donald Trump.
Yep.
You gotta be fucking kidding me. Like, I can't believe people even have... Like, I have the sweater still of the fucking... the meme sort of Biden with the Taliban shit on. But Trump literally made a fucking deal with them. Like, and to be fair, America fucking armed a lot of the terrorists, and then they become terrorists, you know? That's all fucked. But, currently, today... Palestine's fucked. There's no way around it. There's gonna be some real bad shit happening soon, and there's no way around it. But yeah, how do you feel? How do you feel about that clip?
I think you hit it on the nose. He straight up wants the entire annihilation of Hamas, which we know, if you want the utter annihilation of a terrorist group that hides within civilians,
You know what that means?
it doesn't matter who's in the way.
Nope.
He's gonna get the utter destruction of Hamas, and that's exactly what Netanyahu wants. Exactly what he's gonna do. He literally has fired people from his office who did not agree, did not align with him completely, and hired people who did align with him completely.
Yeah.
This next 4 years, when it comes to this conflict, is going to be some of the worst conflicts we have seen in a long time.
Yeah.
And I want the lefties to know you are part of the blame.
Yes.
When you guys want to go vote for Jill Stein, who straight up is a Russian asset who does not give a fuck about any other. She's literally more warmonger than most warmongering people.
Yeah.
And she went up and lied to you, and you also didn't vote at all. I'd rather not vote than to vote for either side of genocide. Well, you're about to get the genocide you want because Trump's gonna do it. He doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't give a fuck about Palestine. He already moved. What was it? The
embassy to Jerusalem.
Yeah, with the embassy to Jerusalem. That's he already is stoking the flames when it comes to that conflict. He does not care.
Yeah.
He cares on one place and one side only, and that's Israel. Okay, so that's just my stance.
I'm glad you brought up Jill Stein. A little segue is the amount of fucking votes. If you break this down between Jill Stein and these other motherfuckers, if all these people had brains and voted for Harris, she would have won. This is
100%.
1 million. That's almost 2 million votes, roughly, probably 2 to 3. Like it instantly shot up, you know. And it's crazy that we're even at this point now where like this is what our map looks like, because it just should never, you know. And when we're having like these percentages that are so close together, and it just sucks that people even went out and voted for these people. Like, we talked about this before, but there will never be third-party support until they actually get third-party support. You have to go local. People forget how powerful the local is. Look at what happened before when Trump was in power and the local governments were defying him and not listening, like in Nevada. I can't remember who the guy was, but when Trump was like, we're going to open up and remove masks, he was like, no, the fuck we aren't. The fuck you talking about? No, we're not. There was another state that did that shit. Like they were just like literally like, that's okay. We're good. Y'all could do that. And it's like, but are we gonna have that again? Like I don't think so. I don't think we're gonna have who's gonna stand up to him. Like I don't think it's gonna exist, you know. And it's just fucking crazy. But yeah, like Jill Stein is another unhinged psychomaniac crazy person. But yeah, Marco Rubio is basically saying rip Palestine because unfortunately they did vote for quote unquote Hamas to be their governmental party. So that's like a country saying we're gonna destroy the MAGA. That's like if another country said that, like we're gonna MAGA's responsible. It's all about MAGA. Like we understand that we're Americans, we're not MAGA, but MAGA just got voted into power, so like that means us too, you know. And people don't see that. And yeah, all those lefties that are fucking fighting at the college campuses and shitting on Biden and shitting on Harris and all this time making their whole bad all bad. This is what you got. Now you got the complete opposite of what you want. And I agree. The RFK Jr. votes are absolutely batshit insane. And I think the next episode we're going to go through state by state. And that would be like the majority of that. And like literally look at who voted for who. So I know who to shit on for the next 4 years. So I know exactly who to make t-shirts about and saying jump off a bridge. But in a video game. But speaking about immigration, this is possibly my favorite clip of this year, because it's a real person with a fake title and a fake position. It doesn't exist. There is no such thing as a border czar. There's never been such thing as a position of someone who's over the border, because it's pretty sure it's a combination of like Homeland Security and Border Patrol and like a bunch of different agencies. So there isn't actually a person over it all. But this clip is absolutely insane, and I need to have it recorded.
Is there a way to carry out mass deportation without separating families?
Of course there is. Families can be deported together.
Why should a child who is an American citizen have to pack up and move to a country that they don't know?
Because their parent obviously entered the country illegally, had a child knowing he was in the country illegally, so he created that crisis.
First of all, you can hear Republican when he says he created that crisis.
Yeah.
What do you mean? A parent is two people. There's a man and a woman. But they don't... Women don't exist in their brains. They're not real creatures. The person he's looking at, that he's interviewing, he thinks that's a robot. The fact you just said not they created that crisis, he created that crisis. And this is the other side of trying to push for men problems. Because you have people like this who don't even view women as existing in real life. But this is what we have. This is the next 4 years, man, where he's literally saying, I will deport legal American citizens.
The whole family can go.
Their whole family can go. What if there's a grandpa who's illegal, but their kids, like they have, mom and dad who's in their like 30s, and then they have kids, or maybe mom and dad's in their 40s and their kids are in their like 20s and they have kids. That's like 4 generations. They're just like, no, you can all go together. All those taxes we can get, all those jobs that we can have worked, all those people, you can all go together. Goodbye.
That's ridiculous.
And that's a real person that said a real thing that's really in power right now. That's a crazy, like, before this would have been like a LOL, this reminds you of something out of like the 60s, or the 70s, even the 80s, like just wild, crazy Republicans. It's like, well, no, this person's in power today, in 2024.
Says the borders are.
The borders are, which is a Russian title, but we're not going to talk about what Tsar means,
True.
True.
It's all love. It's all love over here.
True.
Right?
Hey, look, I posted that on election night. I was like, I best start learning Mandarin and Russian. And that's the birthday, Dobre utro. I'm already there, baby. Good morning. All right? So we're going in, dog. Like I know where the future lies, man. Yeah, there's some crazy stuff happening. I think we're gonna wrap here because my brain can only take so much. This is why I don't know if we're gonna react to actual Trump speeches because I don't know if I can sit through hearing him speak. But I think we're gonna have to, at least the inauguration speech we're probably gonna have to listen to. But I don't want to. I just don't, because he just doesn't say anything. He just rambles and then he says, but we're gonna do it. And somehow their slogan is "Make America Great Again," but it should be "Make America Great Again," because this is the second time. How can you? Did you not do it the first time? How are you gonna do it this time? Like I don't understand.
He's making it great for next decades and decades in the future.
Yeah, you don't
it's like you said the first time, but I guess the first time didn't count.
Nope. It didn't exist, actually. He actually wasn't president. This is actually his first time running, actually.
Okay, so it makes
2016, 2020 doesn't even exist. It was all Biden, honestly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, true.
Ask Trump, it was all Biden. From front to back. I didn't do anything. I was just, I tried. Oh, my God. Before we go, like, when people actually said it was the Democrats that stonewalled him, he had the fucking House and the Senate. What are you talking? This is not Obama's run, where he literally couldn't even get a fucking... I still can't believe he didn't even get a pick, a fucking Supreme Court Justice pick. He didn't get his pick.
Nope.
2 terms, he didn't get a pick. They blocked it. But Trump had like the longest government shutdown in the history of this country, and he had both the House and the Senate. He had complete control to get a fucking budget passed, and he had the longest shutdown in the history of this goddamn country. Hundreds of years of country, and Trump had the longest shutdown. How the fuck is that possible? With the most power. And you didn't get shit done.
It's the deep state. They're trying to,
they lost in 2016, but then they won in 2020, then they lost again now. The deep state seems to be horrible. This is the worst.
They didn't fix the deep state because apparently they can't get it together. Because how did Trump win?
Come on, let's get it together.
Like where's all those dead people that are voting? All right, we need those people. Bring those people back. All right.
Or the legislation that was up for grabs that said to make it illegal for illegal people to vote when it's already fucking illegal, and they actually wrote this legislation up and actually proposed it in the vote, and people actually had to vote on it. We actually had to say no to a law that already fucking exists. You actually took the time to write up legislation about making it illegal for illegal people to vote. this is where this is the brain rot. And you know, like I said, they're unnecessary. We don't need you. We don't need you. Not for a while. Republicans just need to shut the fuck up, and just stand in the corner. You're in timeout for a good decade or two. Like you
stand back and stand by.
Stand back and stand by, because for some, and then turns out those are the first people that breached the fucking Capitol. You know, the brain rot. But you know, like I said, this is fun. We're gonna do this again. This is a blast. We'll it's all up there, so maybe I'll chop up and make some clips of like different topics and shit. But I feel like this conversation needs to be had. Maybe next time we'll bring in a white man. I don't know if white men are, if they're valid yet. I don't know. They're in power now, so now they're the big dog. So now we have to silence them.
We need a big Republican. No, we need to do a Spaces. That's what we need to do. Twitter Spaces.
Ooh, yeah.
And
maybe
then
we'll try to promote a Twitter Spaces about.
We'll do gauntlets.
I want to know fucking minority Trump supporters. I want to talk to them. I want to talk to the Mexican Trump supporters, the Black Trump supporters, well, we know why the Asians. They're just rich. They're just...
Yeah.
If you looked at the fucking exit polls, the majority of Asians vote Republican. I don't blame you. You have no stake in this game. All you care about your money. Do your thing. I guess, you know, it's fucked up, but then you wonder why you get lumped in with white people so much.
Yep.
It's like, well, fuck me when push came to shove. Let me see which way you fucking voted. It's pretty fucking crazy. True, it is called X now. But yeah, we should do that. We should have because I think, again, I love Destiny. I love Lonerbox. I love fucking, you know, Pondering Politics. I love all my Caucasian people, but there is no fucking black people worth salt other than fucking cringe ass. What the fuck is that nigga with the dreads name? I can't fucking remember. But he was the guy that was the reason why Destiny put 10K or 50K towards the...
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
Yeah,
that's an idiot.
Oh, my fucking... This is our... Or before him was... Oh, fuck. What was that one black guy that kept saying, I'm going to repeat it. I'm going to repeat it. I'm going to...
What was that, Prime? I think it's
No, not Prime. Prime is decent, but it was the other guy. The other guy that was on those Prime that Destiny blacklisted. Because he kept saying, every time he lost an argument, he kept saying Destiny was racist.
Yeah, I didn't talk about that.
What's
It's
his
hilarious.
name? Wait, it's not crazy. He just disappeared after that shit. Disrupts facial. I don't know what the fuck happened to him. But these are the only, and then I love ABBA, but ABBA's Canadian. I don't give a fuck. Fuck off. Stop talking about U.S. politics, ABBA. Talk about Red Pill shit, okay? And get out of U.S. politics. I agree with Destiny. We need to get these fucking Canadians, these fucking Brits, out of our goddamn. What the fuck? Why are most of the commentators not even in this country? Deal with your own shit. It doesn't make sense to me. Because y'all motherfuckers having race riots and shit in the UK right now. What the fuck? And then the Canadian trucker bullshit. And you know, like, why are y'all talking about U.S. politics so much? Like, all the big names are... I hear accents. Why the fuck do I click on a video about Trump and hear a fucking accent? Well, accent I should hear is either motherfucker this accent right here, or hey man, what the fuck you talking about? Hey, I even take a Hispanic accent, because guess what? California and Texas are in Mexico, okay?
Yeah.
So I'm fine with that, okay? But why the fuck you know, today we're going to talk about Trump. Like, what do I'm
like,
so
I don't care about your opinion. You don't matter.
At all. You can't even vote. What the fuck are you talking about in my politics? God damn. Anyways, yeah, we're gonna be back next time. Maybe we'll throw in our Italian correspondent Parente. Maybe we'll drop in here. Let's see, 2 black dads and an Italian stallion. You know, maybe we'll. Yeah,
our Italian big Trumper.
Yeah, our big Trump supporter. He's one of the biggest ones I know.
Yeah, personally.
This is being recorded, so this makes it
true
now.
Of course,
he is one of the biggest Trump supporters I know personally. He's probably single-handedly the reason why Nevada went red. It's because of him.
Oh, yeah.
He has a lot of power and control in that state. So, yeah, maybe we'll bring him on and we'll hear the takes of the Trump supporters. And maybe our own resident black Trump supporter, our friend Eric. He's also he's the resident black Trump supporter. So maybe those two, we'll put them in the right side, and I'll bring, you know, James over here on the left side, and we'll have a little talk. A little debate with our resident Trump supporter friends. But thank you guys. We're gonna have fun and blast out of here. Eat 2 donkey dicks. I hate everyone that I know personally.
Damn.
I'm actually never gonna do this again. And here's an outro song because I like stuff.
Oh, did it play?